The RBA have just met and they've announced what they're going to do with rates. If you are a nervous home buyer or a stressed homeowner, you cannot afford to be the last one to find out. So here's the news. The RBA has held the cash rate at 3.6%. Now, this was a unanimous decision, so you may not know this, but there's a board and they all have an individual vote, okay? The majority rules, that's how it works. In this case, the whole board agreed to hold rates where they are. The biggest takeout from this announcement is that a rate hike is on the table for 2026. The Governor Bullock couldn't have been any more clear. They're back on the table, rate hikes. Now, on top of that, two of Australia's biggest banks have just flipped their forecast. They're no longer talking about more cuts. They're telling you to get used to higher rates for longer. And Michelle Bullock has made a pretty shocking admission about inflation that is going to make a lot of current and future borrowers very nervous. So let's take a look what the RBA has actually said in their statement, and importantly also what they did not say. Now, officially, the cash rate stays at 3.6%. This is the third hold in a row. This is the final meeting for 2025. Now, the statement sounds calm until you translate it and you start to look a little bit deeper and read between the lines. The RBA does say inflation has fallen substantially since its peak, but it has picked up more recently. The translation there is inflation is moving the wrong way again. It's headed the wrong direction. Headline inflation is about 3.8%. The trimmed mean is around 3.3%. Both are above their 2 to 3% target band. But what's important is where it's headed, it is moving up. Now, they also say the risks to inflation have tilted to the upside. That is the central bank code for we're now more worried about inflation going up than down. So don't expect more cuts. At the same time, the economy is still growing at around 2.1%, which is actually very strong growth for a developed country. Unemployment is only 4.3%. That's actually very healthy and in a good spot. Private demand is recovering. So from their point of view, the economy is too strong right now to justify more easing. Today was not rates on hold and cuts coming. Today was rates on hold and potentially brace for a rate increase.